Okay. Now we're moving on to items 9, J, and K. These all relate to Councilman John Pettis in Ward 7. Last week I received his resignation letter from the council, which is effective May 31st. That triggers certain responsibilities on our part, which includes the fulfillment of the position both on the short-term basis and a long-term basis, which is really two separate processes. Item 9J accepts the resignation and also discusses our appointment of an interim council member. And if you see in the resolution, I think it is worth noting that we are calling for applications to be submitted starting tomorrow through next Tuesday. We will then consider those. There is no timeline set for that, although we are obligated to complete our process by the end of about June. I think we all sense the urgency to move as quickly as we can. And so that is item J, and maybe I'll stick with that for a moment. Are there any, is there a motion? Okay, motion and a second for item 9J. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, we'll cast our votes. That passes unanimously, and that leaves us with items 9K1 and 9K2. Now this relates more to the long-term fulfillment of the Ward 7 vacancy. That calls for a filing period in mid-June. There will be 3 days at which candidates may file to fill the position for the next 3 years. As the Ward 7 current term is only a year in. And then we also would have an election in late August. That's all set out here, August 28th. If necessary, if no candidate received a majority of the total votes, there would be a general election. Some might call it runoff, but in the terminology of our ordinance, it is a general election on November 6th. It is probably worth noting that the interim appointment is variable in its length depending on what happens on August 28th. The interim appointment would either conclude soon after that or would last all the way till November if that second election is necessary. So the item K1 calls for the special election. Item K2 notifies the election board of the special election. I would entertain a motion on item 9K1.
David, can I ask two questions?
Yes.
One, if somebody was interested in that application, where would they find it?
Great question. Why don't we let Francis handle that? And this is the application for the interim appointment.
Yeah, Councilman, it will be available online on okc.gov at 8 o'clock in the morning, and hard copies will also be available in the city clerk's office, and we will email applications if requested.
And the deadline's the end of the day next Tuesday?
Correct.
Okay.
May 29th at 5 o'clock.
And while we're on that topic, we probably ought to ask you also, where would someone get the materials if they wanted to run for the office?
We have copies available for free of the Oklahoma City Charter, and I can also provide the state statute information if requested.
But a candidate packet of some kind for those wishing to run for the office, that's not something they get here?
No.
Okay.
To file for candidacy would be at the Oklahoma Election Board on Lincoln Avenue.
All of that, and they need to go to the
And those dates are June 13th, 14th, and 15th that they will file at the Oklahoma.
So depending on your interest, you'd go to different places. If you're interested in the interim appointment, you need to come here to City Hall. If you're interested in running, you need to go to the election board.
Correct. And they can call me in the city clerk's office, 297-2391, if they have any questions about the procedure.
Okay.
Second question is, what will these 1 and maybe 2 elections cost?
I'm not sure the exact amount. Of course, since it's just a ward district, it will be a lot less than a citywide election. But Councilman, I don't know the exact amount, but I can get an estimate from the election board if you'd like.
Like 50,000?
Probably around.
How is invoicing for that handled to us when there are other elections going on? In this case, the runoff election in August and the general election in November.
Yes, we do split the cost with the other entities that are having elections on that day. However, the most expensive cost is the ballots, which we pay a full price for a ballot.
Right.
Okay. Thanks.
Any other questions on either K1 or K2? I forget, did we get a motion on K1?
We need a second.
Second. All right, we have a motion and a second on item K1, 9K1. Any further discussion? Seeing none, cast your votes. Passes unanimously. We also have item 9K2. So this is just the resolution notifying the election board of our elections. Motion for that? We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, cast your votes. Passes unanimously.
Mayor, the municipal councilor pointed out that I said the Oklahoma State Election Board, and that is incorrect. It's the Oklahoma County Election Board where they will be filed.
Correct. Good.